you're telling me that the kitchen is refusing to make me a sandwich.
They're not refusing, they said nothing. If you want the turkey with sandwich, but it's a brown bread.
They have white bread. You get a sandwich on white bread.
You go there and talk to them.
No, that's your job. You go talk to them.
I asked them already, then I don't want to fight with them.
I don't care what you want.
Okay.
You bring me a sandwich, turkey and cheese on white bread. So, after keeping me waiting for a while, that CNA just came back, and before I got the camera open and working, she said something cryptic. I couldn't understand what she was saying. She tells me she was waiting. The kitchen said nothing. So I asked her, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? They said nothing. And finally, I pinned her down after much frustration on my part to get her. I keep asking her exactly what are you saying, and I keep repeating it about half a dozen times until she finally tells me what she just said. So once again, the kitchen has refused to give a patient. I wasn't even asking for 2 sandwiches this time. Before, the first time I asked for sandwiches, 2 sandwiches, and they refused. They brought 1 sandwich on brown bread. And then I made them go back and get 2 sandwiches on white bread, and they brought back 1 sandwich on white bread and said the kitchen refused to give me 2. And then after that, it's just been this complete nonsense to where it's now, at first refusing, just saying nothing. The kitchen said nothing, which is nonsense. That's not what the kitchen said. The kitchen didn't say the word nothing. They said something to her which was obviously tell her that she can only have a sandwich on brown bread. We don't have white bread, which is just nonsense. They do too have white bread. And if they don't, why don't they? This is a health facility. Some people can't have brown bread. I actually have some gastrointestinal issues, and that's why I have to ask for white bread. And I'm not the only person that has those issues. This is a health facility. This is a skilled nursing facility. And there was a delivery truck here from Cisco, their food service people, and there's a grocery store across El Camino, a block away. So if their supplier can't bring them white bread, they can walk over across the street and get white bread at Safeway. So this is just yet another instance of being disrespectful to a patient and refusing to provide what the patient is asking for, which contradicts what they have posted in their dining room, where they claim that what patients want is available. They've got a whole list of things, including turkey and cheese sandwiches, that are snack items available anytime the kitchen is open, by the way. I'm asking for it right now at lunchtime. I haven't had a meal because I don't eat breakfast, so I am hungry. It's now after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and as usual, the food was disgusting. This food, you can't smell it, obviously, but it smells like burnt. It's got this weird, bad smell. The only thing I was able to salvage was a couple of bites of a little bit of potato, mashed potato. The spinach smells burnt. I don't know what they did to it. The chicken, you may not be able to see in this particular video right now, but I took photos of it earlier. It's all greasy. It's the same greasy, disgusting, weird, I don't even know if this is chicken. Like, I don't honestly know, because this doesn't look like any kind of chicken I've ever seen. It's got weird tendons and things hanging off of it that don't look like any chicken I've ever seen. And it's just gross, whatever it is. It smells bad, it looks bad, and I'm not going to eat it. And here they are, again, refusing to give a patient a sandwich and claiming when she's asked 6 times, she finally tells me, oh, if I get a sandwich, it's got to be on brown bread. They don't have white bread. This is just complete nonsense. And this is the attitude that you get. This facility literally does not obey the law. It does not respect patient rights. It doesn't do its job. It does not provide palatable, nutritious food to the patient's needs and preferences. What it does provide is absolutely disgusting. And so I asked for an alternate, and they're telling me no. And by the way, my meal was not even delivered. I heard them delivering meals, and I waited, and finally I went out to the meal cart and found that there were a whole bunch of empty trays, like the patients that get that get fed because they have brain damage, and so a CNA has to feed them. And those poor patients, whatever gets shoveled into their mouths, they're stuck with eating it. So the only trays that were in there that had been eaten were from those patients, the patients that the CNAs shovel food into and basically kind of force feed. I mean, the patients are hungry, so I'm sure that they eat, but if they could talk, who knows what they would say about what is being fed to them. So my meal wasn't even delivered. You'll see it's not on a tray. I wasn't going to carry the whole tray because somebody had taken everything off the tray except for this plate. So I took the cover off and I left it in the cart, and I just carried the one plate and utensils into my room. The mashed potatoes that I ate a few minutes ago, I rang for the CNA, took her 10 minutes to respond, and then I asked for the sandwich. So it's been about maybe 15 minutes since I ate these mashed potatoes. They gave me a headache, so I don't even know what was wrong with them. I don't know what was in them, but this facility is just an outrage. People need to be arrested. This facility just needs to be closed down because the vast majority of workers here are completely disrespectful and do not follow the law. They just violate the law outrageously. This is just a minor example. This is trivial compared to the stealing a patient's medicine, the physical abuse, the verbal abuse, the emotional abuse they inflict, the stealing and diversion of patients' medicine, the drugging of patients with chemical restraints, and substituting chemical restraints for the opioids and muscle relaxers that are being stolen and diverted. This is just trivial in the grand scheme of the criminal organization that is this facility, but they're required to at least feed patients, and they're refusing to even do that. And you saw the disrespectful attitude of that CNA.